Hey everyone, Scott here from driveandreview.com, coming to you from very sunny Seattle today. Yes, I am in Seattle. It is November and it is sunny, and I didn't really expect it to be like this. I was expecting rain, but anyway, I am in a 2023 Cadillac XT5. I think that's what it's called. I know nothing about Cadillacs. Prior to getting into this thing, I didn't even know this thing existed. Apparently it's a big SUV. It's huge. It's a lot bigger than it looks. When I was walking up to it at the rental car facility, it seemed big, but then when I got in it and started to drive away and to get out of the parking lot, this thing's a beast. It is a big vehicle. It is definitely Cadillac, with all the angles and the cuts and the sharp edges. Definitely Cadillac, definitely nice. It drives like a Cadillac, and I'll tell you what, it's not really my flavor at all. I don't like this, but that doesn't really mean anything because, I mean, overall it's a really nice SUV, but I personally don't like big vehicles like this, so that's why I don't like it. But if you're into this sort of thing, it's nice. This is really nice. This is not a vehicle that I could daily drive, but I know a lot of people are into this sort of thing, so that's why I thought I'd pick it up and take it for a drive and just to see what it's all about. And this video is just going to be really quick, really raw, pros and cons, everything that I like and I don't like about it. And like I said, I already don't like this thing because it's so big, but I'm going to try to not harp on that too much because my preference is probably in the minority. I know that. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to drive around right away. One thing that I didn't like as I was pulling away for the very first time is the gear selector. It's not very intuitive. It's very BMW-like, where you have to hold a button and then give it a little click, and then you don't really get any feedback. You're not really moving it all that much to a different position. You're giving it just a little click, and then you got to figure out, okay, what happened? I don't like that. I like having feedback. So one thing that I do like is quiet. This thing is super quiet. It's very much a Cadillac, which I like, and it's a perfect highway cruiser. I drove it here from Seattle, downtown Seattle, actually the airport. I'm probably an hour east of Seattle right now, just starting to get up into the Mount Rainier area. And it was all freeway driving, most of it was, and it was quiet. It was so quiet. It's a Cadillac. It definitely lives up to the Cadillac name, so that's pretty cool. Let's see, one thing that I guess I don't like so much is the engine. Actually, it's weird because I like it and I don't like it. I'll tell you both reasons why. I don't like it because it sounds like a four-cylinder, and I'll be completely honest with you, I have no idea what engine is in this right now. Like I said, this is a rental car. I just picked it up. It sounds like a four-cylinder. It feels like a turbocharged four-cylinder. It's extremely torquey, and so I'm guessing it's a turbocharged four-cylinder. I've got it written here at the bottom of the screen, so you know exactly what it is, and I can learn something too. How do I get out of here? I tell you what though, it is spunky. It is quick, very torquey, and out on the freeway at 70, 80 miles an hour, you can merge into traffic no problem. You can switch lanes, you can give it a little gas, and you can just scoot into tight spots very easily. It's got the power to do that. From a stoplight, it's quick. It is spunky. It's definitely, it's got to be a turbocharged four-cylinder. So that's pretty cool. So something that I don't like is this center infotainment stack here. It's very simple. Everything, or most everything, is done through the touch screen. So when you get into this vehicle for the very first time and you're trying to get through all the screens and trying to get the temperature set correctly, everything is, it's not very intuitive, and it takes a while to get through all of that. And I don't know, why can't they just have physical buttons. And I know every auto journalist seems to harp on that same thing, and for very good reason. You need to be focused on driving and not what's happening down here at the lower end of the infotainment stack and climate control system. It's just a distraction. One thing that I do like, visibility all around is excellent. As I said, I drove here on the freeway for the most part, and merging in and out of traffic and going through downtown areas. You can see all around very easily. There are no blind spots except for maybe back there, all the way in the back. So, for a big vehicle like this, you want to see what's going on, and that's definitely easy here in the XT5 or the see, I already forgot what this thing is called. That just goes to show you how much that this thing is just not in my wheelhouse, how much that I don't really care about this type of vehicle. So XT5 or whatever it's called. Another thing that I do like is the audio system. The audio system sounds fairly decent. I didn't get a chance to play with it very much, but from that hour or so I tinkered with it on the drive here. It sounds good. It's definitely because this vehicle is so quiet, well insulated. It's not the best audio system I've ever heard in any vehicle, but it's good enough, and when you combine it with that good insulation, it sounds really premium. I like it. I like it a lot. Something that I don't like so much is you really have to take corners in this thing slow. It's a big, lumbering, beastly vehicle, and it's expected. You're sitting very high up. Though I will say that is something that I do like, sitting so high up. I don't normally drive this type of vehicle, and whenever I do get a chance to drive one of these things or a vehicle of this class, I like it. I understand why people like these things, and this Cadillac is definitely you're sitting very high, and it's very commanding, and it's a very, very good feeling. I like that. Something that I don't like so much are the front seats. Material is okay. It's kind of like this synthetic pleather type material. I don't think it's real leather. It might be real leather, but the thing that I don't like is how flat they are. They're very wide. They don't look very wide, but they're very flat, and I just swim in these things. They don't hold me in, and I guess it's very Cadillac. To think of a traditional Cadillac with large bench style couch seating, that's what this feels like. I'm definitely not wedged into a seat here. I'm sitting on a seat, not in a seat, so I don't really like that. All right, let's do a acceleration test here. Get out to the road and floor it. This thing is not slow. It's definitely not slow. It's surprising. For as big and heavy as this thing is, I'll put the weight down here at the bottom of the screen. It's surprisingly not slow. I like that. That's a very... See, I'm having difficulty talking about it again because I don't like the sound of the four-cylinder in a vehicle of this type, but it's quick. It's definitely quick, and it's a good feeling. I like that. A couple other little things I'm not a fan of. The window sills are very high. I can't really put my arm up like this. This is the way I like to drive on road trips. This is the way I like to drive on road trips, but I can't do that because it's really uncomfortable. Though I will say the armrest is plenty high just to do this, which I guess is more leisurely, more Cadillac, I guess. Another thing that I don't like so much is the angle of the infotainment screen is pushed way back. It's a very steep angle, and when the sun hits it just right, it's kind of hard to see. You get a reflection, and you can't really see what's going on. You have to bob your head around and just to see anything, which is kind of annoying. But it's that Cadillac design language with those angles and those cuts. They were kind of forced into it, I guess. Okay, so another thing that I like, but I don't like, it's one of those combination things, it's the exterior styling. Now, on one hand, I like the fact that it's a bit inconspicuous. This is not a flashy vehicle. You're not going to stand out in this thing. it blends in, and if you're not if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to be, they don't like to stand out, this is definitely a good vehicle for you. But on the other hand, this thing has got to cost a lot of money. And I'll put the price here at the bottom so you can get a better idea of what this thing costs. But for the most part, okay, I lost my train of thought there. I was driving around trying to get into a parking lot. But the reason why I don't like the exterior styling is because when you spend this much money on a vehicle, you kind of want to have something that looks premium. I don't think this looks premium enough for the price you pay for it, which can't be cheap. And you're probably looking straight into the sun right now, right at me. So I'm gonna move. It's this darn shifter again. I can't, so hold down the button and then, yeah, there we go. Anyway, there you have it. Those are my first impressions, pros and cons of the 2023 Cadillac XT5. Again, I've maybe put 100 miles on this thing so far, so I haven't had a lot of time with it, but prior to this, I didn't even know this thing existed. And, you know, these pros and cons are my honest, true feelings about what this thing is and you know, what it does. I like it. It's definitely not the kind of vehicle for me, but if you're into big SUVs, I think you might be happy with this. It's worth checking out. And if you have any questions, do leave them down in the comment section below. I will get back to you as soon as I can, or I'll try to answer them as quickly as I can. And yeah, check out the full review of this thing over on driveandreview.com. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.